How many times have you been running a combat and your players have been a bit dry? Have you maybe thought that it could be, how do I say this, your fault? Replace you as GM, but there's another solution, a slightly less hanging one with no head lobbing off. It's quite a cool one too. In a game that involves combat, quite often combat can just descend into dice rolls. I've said this many times on my channel, and I like to avoid doing that, as do a lot of other GMs. And a lot of those GMs will do it by just avoiding combat entirely. Well, I'm going to argue that you don't have to avoid combat entirely if you do combat right, and it's a really, really, really simple, basic rule to remember that will just change the way your games play. You see, when you're a player and you're about to make an action, you want to do the most effective thing that you can. And if the most effective thing you can do is attack, then that's what you're going to do. And yes, you could describe your actions, but frankly, after so many years of this, there's only so many ways you can describe, I do 7 hit points worth of damage with my sword. Yes, you can make it dramatic and everything else, but that just takes time and makes the combat take even longer, and is it really adding anything when you've heard it all before? Add interactive elements into your environment. That's the point I'm building to here. Give your player characters something to interact with in your environment. You don't have to worry about, look, if I put this candlestick holder in the scene, is that going to add or take away? Will the players abuse that? Fuck it, let them abuse it. Let them abuse it. Let them be clever with your scenery. But also, that means don't punish them when they do something out of the ordinary. Quite often, when a player is creative, the GM will actually nerf that creativity by telling them, well, a candlestick, that's less offensive than a dagger, so I think that would do at best 1 point of damage. I'm just going to fix that to 1 point of damage. That's what you're going to do with this candlestick. You're better off punching them. That does d4. Yeah, I suppose maybe we could do a d4 plus 1 thing. Yeah, don't do that. Alright? Because if the character's normally got a longsword and they're kind of sick and tired of hitting things with longsword, they might have just picked this up because in their mind they saw it as a cool way to just knock a character out. So let them knock a character out. Add interactive things into your environment. I was playing a game recently where my character emerged into this environment that was outdoors, and it was the scene, originally a scene that was, there was races going on, there were people there should have been camera crews and commentators and bits of mechanical stuff all over the place. It was a sci-fi game. I'm not going to go into detail, and in fact the GM is a really good GM, but in this particular moment he dropped the ball, and because I didn't have anything to interact with, and I said, is there anything here that I could use? And the GM said no, and I said, this is a race, right? So maybe there's some race bikes there. And the GM went, okay, yeah. And then it was cool. I was able to use the race bike and do something really cool with it. And it was great, and I didn't just sit there rolling dice, doing attack rolls. I did something heroic instead. Always put 2 interactive things in your scene, at least. Always. Doesn't matter what they are, just try to remember, you're just setting up a scene. There must be elements here for the characters to interact with. Otherwise, it may as well be a 10-foot by 10-foot room with nothing on the walls. And nothing in it. Yeah, it's a guard room or something, right? I don't know. That's what the table said, 10-foot by 10-foot. It's not on the furnishings table. Yeah, it's a table. It's a stone table, it's attached to the floor, you can't move it. No, don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Make it a table the players can pick up and throw! Or hide behind and shoot arrows! Let your players be heroic by giving them things to interact with. Please. Or I might have to get emotional on the topic.